So I'm going to talk about how to make an herbal tea, also known as a hot infusion. So the basic principle is to boil your water, take the water off the heat, pour it on the herb, let it steep for anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes, usually 10 to 15 minutes. And then after it's steeped, strain out the herb and drink the tea. So there's a few different ways you can do that, but first I just want to show the difference between herb that's from a bulk bin versus herb in a tea bag, because it's usually a pretty different quality. So this is chamomile that we have, that's bulk chamomile flowers, and this is a chamomile tea bag. So if we just split this open and see what that looks like, you can see that the product you're getting in your tea bag is quite a bit different from the product that you're getting if you're buying bulk dry herbs, and it's usually better quality. And additionally, you can add more per each cup of tea if you're making it yourself. So the general rule of thumb is 1 teaspoon of herb per 1 cup of hot water. In many cases it's going to be different than that, but that's your general rule of thumb. And if you're making a hot infusion, you're going to want to do so with things like leaves and flowers. This is peppermint leaf, chamomile flowers. If you have a root, a bark, or a seed, it's best to make that using an herbal decoction, which is another method that we'll describe in a different time. So you've got your hot water, you've taken it off the heat. One simple thing you could do if you have these tools already at home is use it in a measuring cup. Pour your hot water onto your 1 teaspoon of herb in a measuring cup. Or you could do this whole process straight in a pot. Boil the hot water in a pot and leave it to steep in the pot covered. Whatever you're doing, you would prefer to cover it so that you keep the volatile oils in the plant while it's steeping. You could also use, this is a French press or press pot. These work really nicely. I would recommend this is probably the best way to make herbal tea if you're able to get a French press or press pot. Or you could use a tea ball, put your teaspoon of herb into this, put the tea ball in your mug, and then just pour the hot water onto there and let it steep. And again, it would be best if this was covered while it was steeping, so you can put something on your teacup and let it steep that way. So, after 10 to 15 minutes have passed, you strain out your herb. If you're using the measuring cup, you would just get something like this. This is a fine stainless steel mesh strainer you might have in your kitchen. You would just strain this out into your cup of that you're going to drink the tea out of, and then there you go. The French press, it already has sort of a built-in straining mechanism for you. While it's steeping, it's sort of lifted up, you push it down. When it's ready to steep, you can just pour it out. If you're using a cup of tea, you could just take out your tea ball. If you're using your pot, you could do the same thing, just pour that maybe into a measuring cup and then drink it. So that's it. Again, this is the method for making a hot infusion or herbal tea with leaves and flowers of bulk dry herbs.